Something massive just happened in the gold market. Most people have no idea what it means for their money. Right now, as you're watching this, a financial story is unfolding in the frozen wilderness of Alaska that connects directly to your savings, your future, and the purchasing power of every dollar you have ever earned. And what happens in the next few months could either protect you or quietly destroy everything you have worked for. If you're interested in money, finance, or changing your financial future, like this video and subscribe right now, because what you are about to learn can change the way you see money forever. Let me start with a man named Danyar. He is 38 years old, works a decent job, has a small savings account, and considers himself reasonably smart about money. He is not reckless, he does not gamble, he pays his bills on time. But last year, while gold was silently climbing from $2,000 an ounce to over $5,000 an ounce, the single greatest run in the metal's modern history, Danyar was sitting on the sidelines, watching his savings account earn a little over 2% interest and telling himself he would look into it later. He never did. And by the time he finally paid attention, the headlines were screaming that the market had crashed. He panicked. He did nothing. And he missed both the biggest rise and the smartest entry point of his lifetime. Danyar's story is not rare. In fact, it is happening to millions of people right now. And I am going to show you exactly why and exactly what to do differently. Let's talk about Alaska. Not the tourist Alaska of glaciers and bears and midnight sun. The Alaska that almost nobody talks about. The one sitting on top of some of the most concentrated gold deposits on planet Earth. In 2025, Alaskan mines pulled nearly 1 million ounces of gold out of the ground. That number sounds impressive until you realize that the value of that gold did not stay the same as previous years. It exploded. Because the price of gold surged 43% in a single year, the total value of Alaska's mined gold alone skyrocketed alongside it. The state's entire mining output hit $6.5 billion, a 38% jump over the year before. That is not a coincidence. That is a system under enormous pressure, producing enormous wealth for those who understood what was happening. And understanding what is happening right now is exactly why you need to stay until the end of this video. But here's the uncomfortable truth most financial channels will never tell you. The people who made the most money from gold's historic rise were not the ones who mined it out of Alaskan rock. They were ordinary investors who simply positioned themselves correctly before the chaos started. And the people who lost the most were not dumb. They were just late. And being late with money is a price you pay for the rest of your life. So what exactly happened? To understand the present, you need to understand the journey that brought us here. In early 2025, gold was sitting at around $2,400 per ounce. Most mainstream financial commentators were saying it was overvalued. Some said it would pull back. Others said it had already had its run. And then something changed. Central banks, the massive financial institutions that sit behind every government's economy, kept buying gold. Not slowly, not casually, but aggressively, at a pace that had never been seen in modern history. 3 years in a row, buying, accumulating, hoarding. And when the biggest, most powerful financial players on the planet start quietly loading up on one specific asset, that is a message that most regular people never receive. But I'm going to make sure you receive it today. By January 2026, gold had hit $5,589 per ounce, a new all-time high. And then something unexpected happened. Something that is the entire reason we're here today. The market crashed. Not in the way a stock market crashes when a company goes bankrupt or a housing market crashes when people cannot pay their mortgages. Gold pulled back sharply. In less than 2 months, it dropped from that record high all the way down to around $4,500. That is an 18% correction. And the news headlines that followed were exactly what you would expect. Gold is crashing. The bull run is over. Investors flee precious metals. And millions of ordinary people, people like Danyar, read those headlines and made the same mistake they always make. They panicked. They interpreted a correction as a collapse. They confused a temporary retreat with a permanent defeat. And that confusion is costing them everything. I will explain exactly what is really happening in a moment. But first, you need to understand something deeper, something about the psychology of money that most people have never been taught. There's a reason the wealthy get wealthier during moments of market chaos, while the average person loses ground. And it has nothing to do with secret information, insider access, or having more money to begin with. It has everything to do with how they read fear. When a market drops and headlines scream disaster, the average person sees danger and runs. The sophisticated investor sees a price tag and moves closer. Think about that the next time you watch a market update on the news. The channel is not reporting financial reality. It is selling emotional reaction. And your emotional reaction, if it is not controlled, will cost you more than any market crash ever could. Now let's come back to gold. Here's what the headlines did not tell you. When gold dropped from 5,500 to 4,500, JP Morgan, one of the most powerful financial institutions on earth, did not change its year-end target for gold in 2026, not by a single dollar. Their target stayed at $6,300 per ounce. Deutsche Bank held its target at $6,000. Goldman Sachs kept calling for $5,400. These are not small firms making guesses. These are trillion-dollar institutions with rooms full of analysts studying every variable of the global economy. And they watched gold drop 18% and said, the target stands. Think about what that means. It means the smart money is not running from this correction. It is watching it, studying it, and in many cases, using it to buy more at lower prices. But what happened next changed everything for the investors who stayed calm. After the initial crash from the all-time high, gold began doing what gold always does after these corrections. It stabilized. It found support. The panic sellers who dumped their positions watched the price recover and realized they had sold at the exact wrong moment. The ETF investors, people who hold gold through funds rather than physical metal, saw outflows turn back into inflows even as the price was falling, meaning people were still buying even while the price went down. That is not the behavior of a dying market. That is the behavior of a market where serious, informed buyers are stepping in while everyone else is running out the door. And here's where Alaska comes back into the story. Because what is happening underground in America's largest state is about to collide with what is happening in the global financial markets in a way that most ordinary investors are completely unprepared for. Alaska is not just producing gold. It is producing gold at a moment when the demand for that gold is unlike anything we have seen in the modern era. Central banks are still buying. The US dollar's long-term outlook is soft, meaning currencies around the world are slowly losing their value relative to hard assets. The US government's fiscal deficits, the gap between what the country earns and what it spends, are not shrinking. If anything, they keep growing. And every dollar of new debt printed to fill that gap quietly dilutes the value of every dollar already in existence. This is not a conspiracy theory. It is basic arithmetic. And gold, which cannot be printed, which cannot be diluted, which has stored value for 5,000 years across every civilization that has ever existed, sits on the opposite side of that equation. Think about a woman named Amara. She is 29, works in marketing, makes a decent salary. A few years ago, she noticed that her grocery bills were higher, her rent had gone up, and her savings account balance looked the same, even though she was working harder than ever. She could not figure out why she felt financially stuck, when by every measure she was doing the right things. She did not realize that the value of the money she was earning was slowly being eroded, not by anything she did wrong, but by forces operating far above her pay grade, forces that gold has historically protected against. And nobody told her. Nobody sat her down and explained that when central banks print money, the purchasing power of every existing unit of that currency quietly shrinks. Nobody showed her the chart. Nobody made the connection between what happens in Washington and what happens in her wallet. Until now, this is where everything changes. The story of this current gold correction, the drop from 5,500 down toward 4,300, where it sits today, is not a story of gold losing its value. It is a story of the market doing something it always does before a major move higher. It is shaking out the weak hands. That phrase, shaking out the weak hands, means exactly what it sounds like. Whenever an asset has made a big run upward, there are always holders who are nervous, who bought at high prices, who are watching every tick of the market with their finger hovering over the sell button. A correction forces them out. It removes them from their positions at a loss. And then, with those sellers exhausted and gone, the buyers who had been patient, the institutional money, the central banks, the informed individual investors, step back in. And the next leg higher begins. This happened with gold in 2008 when it dropped hard during the financial crisis and then proceeded to run from $700 to $1,900 over the following 3 years. It happened again in 2018 when gold pulled back and everyone declared the bull market dead, only for it to recover and push past $2,000 for the first time in history. Every single time the pattern was the same: crisis, correction, panic, recovery, new highs. And every single time the people who understood what they were watching made generational gains. The people who read the headlines and sold made generational mistakes, and nobody talks about this part. But the Alaska connection is about to get even more important. One of the reasons gold prices are expected to continue their long-term climb has everything to do with supply. Finding and mining gold is not getting easier. It is getting harder. The world's existing gold deposits are depleting. New discoveries are less frequent. Bringing a mine from discovery to full production takes a decade or more in permitting, infrastructure, and capital. Even Alaska, with all of its vast mineral wealth, took decades to develop the mines currently operating at Fort Knox, at Pogo, at the other major projects scattered across its wilderness. And while Alaska's mines are expected to push output above 1 million ounces this year, the broader global picture is one of constrained supply meeting explosive demand. When you understand supply and demand at a basic level, you understand what that means for price. Now, I want you to think about something personal for a moment. Think about the money you have right now, your savings, your checking account, maybe a retirement fund somewhere. Think about where it is sitting and what it is doing. Is it growing faster than inflation? Is it preserving your purchasing power? Or is it slowly losing ground, silently and visibly, while you are busy working and living your life? Most people never ask themselves this question honestly, because the answer is uncomfortable. And uncomfortable questions, especially about money, are the ones we tend to avoid the longest. But avoidance has a price. Every month you avoid asking the question, every month you leave your financial situation exactly as it is another month. The gap between you and financial security quietly widens. Here's the hard part. I'm not here to tell you gold is a magic bullet. It is not. The market is volatile. There are real risks. Analysts at some firms are warning that if certain price levels break, gold could pull back further to $4,000 or even $3,400 before recovering. That scenario is possible. Nobody in finance knows exactly what tomorrow will bring. What I am telling you is something different. I am telling you that the structural reasons gold has been rising, central bank buying, dollar weakness, government debt, geopolitical instability, supply constraints, have not gone away. Not one of them. They are all still in place. The correction happened because of short-term factors. Profit-taking, a stronger dollar in the near term, one rate cut instead of multiple from the Federal Reserve, oil prices spiking past $100 a barrel, creating inflation fears. These are real forces, but they are temporary. The structural forces are permanent, and when the temporary forces fade, as they always do, the permanent forces reassert themselves. That is why JP Morgan's $6,300 target did not move. But here is what most people never realize. The part that separates the investors who build real wealth from the ones who spend their lives almost getting there. Knowing the information is not enough. Understanding the story is not enough. 1,000 people could watch this exact video, nod along, find it interesting, feel a moment of urgency, and then go back to doing exactly what they have always done. Because the human brain is wired to maintain the status quo. Change requires discomfort. And most of us will go to enormous lengths to avoid financial discomfort, even when that avoidance is itself the most expensive thing we ever do. Think about a man named Riza. He spent 3 years reading about gold, watching videos, saying he was going to do something, waiting for the perfect moment. 3 years of waiting. While gold went from $1,500 to $5,000. He did not lose money, he just never made any. And in a world where inflation erodes purchasing power every single year, not growing is a form of losing. Riza's story is a cautionary tale about the danger of information without action. I'm not saying run out and buy gold tomorrow morning. What I am saying is that the events unfolding right now, the historic rise, the correction, the stabilization, the structural forces still fully in place, represent a moment of clarity that does not come often. The noise is loud right now, the headlines are dramatic. But underneath the noise, the signal is consistent. Patient, informed investors are watching a temporary pullback and seeing an opportunity. Panicked, headline-driven investors are watching the same events and running in the wrong direction. The question is not what gold will do next. The question is what you will do next. Think about Danyar again. After months of watching, waiting, and second-guessing, he finally made a decision. Not a dramatic one, not a bet-everything moment. Just a deliberate, informed, patient decision to begin. To stop watching money flow past him and start understanding how to position himself to catch some of it. He did not need perfect information. He did not need to be an expert. He just needed to stop confusing panic with wisdom and to stop mistaking inaction for safety. Because here is the final truth that I want you to carry with you long after this video ends. Safety is not the same as doing nothing. In a world where your money loses value every single year through inflation, doing nothing is not a neutral choice. It is an expensive one. The people who will look back on this moment in 5 years with pride are not the ones who predicted every turn of the market. They are the ones who understood the big picture, managed their fear, stayed informed, and made thoughtful decisions even when the headlines were screaming at them to run. Alaska's gold is still in the ground. The central banks are still buying. The dollar is still being diluted. The structural story that drove gold from $2,000 to $5,000 has not ended. It has paused. And pauses, in long-term financial trends, are not the end of the story. They are the page turn. The real crash is not what happened to gold. The real crash is the quiet, invisible one that happens every year to the savings of people who never understood what was happening. People who kept their money in accounts, earning less than inflation, while hard assets moved silently around them. That crash leaves no headlines. It makes no noise. But it has been happening for decades to hundreds of millions of ordinary people, And the fact that you're still watching right now tells me something important about you. It tells me that you're not the kind of person who is content to let that happen to them. The next move is yours. If you learned something new today, make sure to subscribe to Money Insights and like this video. More powerful financial truths are coming next.